dialogue today is for us to understand, to discuss, to present the findings of the young people on the parish development model.
So this position paper, as said earlier on, was developed by the youth, under the Youth Budget Advocacy Group and the Youth Policy Analysts of Arua City, of course supported by Sensitize Uganda. The implementation of this PDM in Arua City has brought renewed hope to many households that previously had limited access to financial and technical support. The program also has prioritized youth and women empowerment by encouraging them to form enterprise groups and participate in circles for credit and business development support. There have been positive strides, with some youth and women groups reporting increased income and better access to productive inputs. Overall, the PDM in Arua City holds great promise for driving inclusive and sustainable development at the grassroots level. However, with all this said, we still have challenges that the youth in Arua City are facing. We have limited awareness and information gaps. A section of youth don't know the objectives of the PDM. They don't know the eligibility criteria and the procedures for getting this PDM. They don't know the right offices. Some don't know. In some areas, some people say it's only for NRM, and others say it's just a government's presidential initiative. So youth lack such kind of information on the PDM. Youth often have limited representation in some parish development committees and circle leadership. I, for one, I did not know that the PDM committees actually exist, but I just learned of it recently when we were having a training with Sensitize Uganda. So this marginalization affects how their needs are and priorities are reflected in planning and allocation of PDM resources at the parish level. Without targeted capacity building, some youth are unable to develop via business proposals or manage loans effectively. Ideally, before giving out this money, the youth could be trained to gain these skills before they actually access this money. Even with access to PDM funds, youth often struggle to meet requirements such as group registration, co-funding, or collateral, making it hard to launch or sustain enterprises. Some circles have imposed extra conditions to discourage youth participation. And also some youth actually don't have the requirements, for example, the national IDs, making it very hard for them to access these services. While a significant number of the youth has benefited from PDM, there is need to ensure that the PDM policy recommended percentage of 30% funds meant for the youth is adhered to. Its success will entirely depend heavily on local ownership, effective monitoring, and corruption-free management of resources. Thank you.
You find most times young people always isolate themselves. They don't want to know what happens there. So you find a leader who is not very serious will not go to these young people and tell them what to do when it comes to PDM. So I think enhancing collaboration and coordinating PDM programs through the PDCs would help us as young people in knowing what PDM is, what it requires, what it needs us to do, and how to do it to ensure that youth all get this access to the PDM funds. Thank you.
Since I got that money, it is actually coming to 3 years. Nobody has stepped his or her feet there to see what I'm doing with the money, or am I doing the project I wanted, or I've diverted the money somewhere else. So my appeal here is, if there is some possibility, before issuing out this money, I feel they should first assess before giving the money to these people.
In a group of 12, 10, 15 people, you select and give money to 3 people, and the rest don't get. Do you think the rest who have not got will have any really encouragement to go and wait for this. It takes long. For us youths, we need chap things. When we have a plan, let it come within short time, we begin doing these activities. This money comes through Wendy. Somebody in Iranoke, Mile 1 cannot withdraw money from there. Has to travel a long way from there, use 20,000 to come and withdraw money in the town here, and go back from here. It means the money you are telling me to budget, which is 1 million, out of my 1 million, when I'm withdrawing, there's a charge there. It comes to 900, maybe 995 or 997 or 993. I withdraw the 20, it takes me back to another level. It becomes a problem. Let us get a correct way of giving this money and let these people get it where they are.
But when it comes to training, as we are going to receive the PDM money, the technical are always serious about organizing the trainings, moving up and down. But after giving out the money to the beneficiaries, they don't follow up these people. That's why people end up doing their own things with the money. Because no one will come to your place, your premises, to ask you, what have you ventured in? People ask for money for agricultural work, they don't go to the garden to do the work. People ask for the money for produce, they don't open any produce shop. So all these blames are on the technocrats, because they end up giving a very big gap for these people to do whatever they want with this money.
My prayer is that we need to strengthen inclusive awareness and sensitization programs. Of course, making sure that all the sensitizations and awareness that is being raised should be more inclusive, to include all categories of persons with disabilities who are part of the groups that are to benefit. Yeah, it is very, very important that as being youths with disabilities, they must benefit from the 30%. Yeah, thank you so much.
The feedback we are getting, we got from our own terrain, is so alarming on the side of young people. We are not doing enough. We swindled all the monies that we benefited from. But now, if we don't put things right, what are we advocating for? If I give you 10,000, you eat it, tomorrow you come back and ask for 10,000. You don't make good use of it. What do we call that one? But there are a lot of things that needed to be done. Sensitization is a challenge. You give me 1 million, you did not tell me what to do. I'll just use this money to buy a smartphone, go to Lesuban and get some fish, I eat. The next day I am broke. So we need to sensitize people.
I personally have benefited because I've advocated for the youth, for the persons with disability to benefit from their 10%. The persons with disabilities, particularly the youth, they should also benefit from their 30% since they are also a youths with disabilities. Normally people tell them, you have your 10% of persons with disabilities there. They did not qualify to get 30% of the youths from the PDM. This one happened, there's a youth with disability, they have verified everything. That youth have also qualified to get the money for the PDM. We realized that what these people say, this is a blind youth, she cannot manage this money. How is she going to pay back this 1 million of the government? This one has really affected youths with disability, particularly in my parish.
Most of us even don't know what a business plan look like. Most of the youths even doesn't know how to draft a business proposal. My kind plea to you is this: as we're giving this money to the youths, let us try to build their capacity to see that this money will have an influence in them, to see that this money will not only go for marrying, buying mattresses and other stuffs, but we put this money into our projects, and we see that these projects are as well as followed up. Applied for PDM in November last year, and we already in July this year. We applied, we went through all the process. They were demanding us some money for paperwork, all that stuff, and we gave in all those money out. Now they told us that they're not giving the money in December, they're not releasing the money because some people will use the money for Christmas and New Year stuff. The story passed. Then they told us that the money will come in January. When we went back, again, they said that January is still January, people will pay school fees using the money. Then we waited. Now, as a youth, when you have a delayment in some process, you begin losing trust in the process. The moment something delays you as a youth, you see yourself stepping back. Because we feel like we're still in the youthful ages where you have a lot of journey to go, you have a lot of things to do. Now you're planning for something that is going to take you 6 months. And trust me, as a youth, there are high chances that you're going to lose trust in this and you're going to step back focusing on another different thing.
So we'd like to thank you for pulling out those issues that maybe our eyes couldn't have reached on and need redress. Is it possible for us to have standalone youth groups to benefit from PDM? Again, this is not part of the guiding principles under PDM. PDM wants a catalog of people within the cell, within the ward to benefit. And we cannot sieve out on the youth to form one enterprise group. You have to be in a cell where there are old people, persons with disability, and so on, so that we can both learn from, we can all learn from each other as we implement the enterprise that we choose to implement.
The government of Uganda yearly injects a lot of money to this program, and therefore, as a special interest group that is growing up and yet taking up responsibilities, it is very important that you benefit from it, put the resources to proper use so that you can get benefit from it.
So and so is picking money, so and so is picking money. It is a common issue, but please, when you realize, raise the issue to the division, to the city authority. Somewhere somebody said they need chap things very fast. In PDM, there is no shortcut. You have to use the long route. Use shortcut, RCC will take you inside. Because of bending some of these guidelines. So, we have been advising communities, if you need something which is chap, very fast, please don't come to PDM. Though they say it's for everybody, but it's guided.
When the CD was speaking, she talked about the dialoguing that we are having, non-confrontational dialogue. And for us, we believe that this is one of the best ways on how we can engage with our leaders without resorting to violence, without resorting to confrontation. And then we are presenting alternative recommendations that then government can pick up. But also as young people, I think we cannot always wait for our leaders to provide us information. I think also we need to take a proactive way on how we can pick information from our leaders, but also be able to disseminate it to our other young people. With those few remarks, allow me to stop here, and I wish you a good day, and hand over to our speaker to invite for us our RCC. Thank you very much. Money changes people's mind. Meetings, PDM, I want to do agriculture, I want to do this. Yes, concept is there, but you receive that money. Girlfriend, boyfriend, design, I want to buy a Bajaj, I want to buy a mattress. Somebody said, I want to do this hair now, I don't want this hair. So the money, by the time you're preparing yourself, but when you have a different attitude when you don't have money, when the money comes, the plans you had made there all vanish and you have new plans. Now you're a rich person. It takes a lot of discipline. That's my first point, discipline. If you don't have discipline, financial discipline, even the way you conduct yourselves, guys, let's take life serious. It starts with you because you're no longer young. I see some of you already here, they have beards, others have children. Please, let us be disciplined. That's number one. Patience pays. They say it pains. Quick, we want quick money. Cash, chap, fazewere. Now politics is there, they are all active. At the forefront,
But how much do you get there?
One of the biggest challenges of corruption affecting the progress of the parish development model. Why? It is because it arose here verbally that people ask money for the PDCs ask money so that their names can be, beneficiary names can be input into the system, and this is not excluding the young people. But when we ask ourselves, you who gives the money so that your name enters into the system, to that one who receives it, who is more corrupt? All of us become a vicious circle of a problem that affects us as young people. Meaning all of us become corrupt, and it becomes very hard for us as a government to fight off corruption in a system where the giver and the receiver are all part and parcel of a journey. So if this came here as a challenge, I would say let us avoid it.